Peter Bass.
After you.
Welcome. Glad you can make it.
Good morning. Good morning. Yeah, okay.
Okay, we got a lot of questions here. A nice stack of questions today. So first of all,
Oh, good.
he's ready. He's got another drink. He's ready to go.
We do the easy ones first.
No.
No? Okay.
Okay, are you going to do a follow-up to your album Instinct? Tanya.
Yes.
When? Where? What?
No, it's I've just finished a new album. It's coming out in January, I think, and it's the best thing I've ever done. But everybody says that about everything. I'm really pleased with it. It's worked out really well. It's an hour and a quarter of guitar music, which, if you like guitars, is great, and if you don't like guitars, there's a tree falling over there. Anyway, it's out on One Way Records, and it comes out in January, and I'm really pleased with it.
Okay, you came up with the name Yes. You were influenced. Were you influenced at all by all the yeses at the end of the movie Yellow Submarine? That's from Thomas Mosbaugh.
No, the name came up because we couldn't think of anything better. Actually, I mean, it was. I think I actually thought of the name about a year before Yes ever started. And it was just a name that I liked because it was short and it was positive, and it kind of stuck. You know, I'm surprised it's still here. You know. But it didn't come from Yellow Submarine. No, I don't know what that's all about. No, it was just it just came from somewhere.
Okay, Mike Kelly wants to know, it's been said that you've been a big fan of Keith Emerson's band, The Nice.
That's right, yeah.
And did they influence, and that they were an influence on the early years of Yes. Is this true?
Actually, yes, because we did a thing from, we used to do a thing from West Side Story called Something's Coming. And The Nice used to do a thing called America. And I used to like Keith's playing a lot. I used to steal his keyboard licks and translate them onto guitar. So he's a great player. And a nice man as well, I think. Yeah.
Don Tyler wants to know, where's Don? He wants to know if he'll sign his Dan Hedges book. Only if you have a
No,
moment.
of course, yes.
Do you want to bring it up? Bring it up. We'll do it right now.
Toby K? Who the hell's that? Thank you.
Okay, and I think you knew this one would come up. Jeff Foster wants to know if you ever miss being in Yes.
Absolutely not. No. No, it was a long time ago when I was in the band. I mean, it's kind of, it's like looking through an old scrapbook of photos, or it's a bit like a high school reunion thing. I mean, it's something you did a long time ago, and I have good memories about it and bad memories about it, but I don't miss that. It was, I was only 10 years old at the time, and I was wearing short trousers, so I mean, it's, you know. No, I don't miss it, no.
Mark Spear wants to know where the hell you been. Great to have music out again, and stick around a while longer, will you?
Yes, I hope so. Yeah, I'm not at retiring age yet, anyway. No, I'm hoping to go out on the road with an instrumental band. I'm not sure when that's going to be, but that's really what I want to do now.
Sounds good. We'll keep you posted. Okay, what's your favorite Yes touring story?
I could not tell you that. I mean, certainly not. I mean,
well, tell us when you can.
Ask Tony Kaye. Tony Kaye is the man with the stories. I couldn't possibly repeat it.
Tell us the second best one.
I couldn't repeat that either. Wow.
Tell us a real good Yes story. Come on.
Why? God, this is very difficult. This is a family audience, and it's very early in the day. No, I think you know a lot of stories about Chris Squire in the bath and all that kind of thing, and they're all absolutely true. And I won't say any more, but you can talk to my lawyer. He's a very nice guy, and I'll give you his phone number if you like.
We'll get him to do a phone interview later, right? How did Instinct come about?
That's a very good question. I just wanted to do a solo album. There was a lot of people at the time, a lot of guitar players, particularly in Los Angeles, that were doing solo albums, and I listened to a whole bunch of them, and a lot of them weren't very good, you know, and I thought, well, I could do better than that, and I already had some tracks done, which I just did at home for my own personal entertainment. And it just kind of came about, and I finally put the thing together, and that album came around over quite a long period of time, whereas the new album I did a lot quicker.
Now, Instinct came out very early over in Europe, but it just got released recently.
Yeah, it's been out about a year and a half. Yeah, it's kind of old history for me. Yes.
But it's available now in the States.
It's available on Wildcat Records, and everybody goes, who? And they're a new label. LA label. That's what MCA, right. And it's in the shops, or so they tell me.
We were listening to it on the way in. Okay, Joanna from San Diego wants to know, Peter, would you like a tour guide when you come to San Diego on Tuesday?
Where is she? Yes. No, I'm not going to be in San Diego, unfortunately. I'm going to go and see this show in Vegas and lose some money as well, I think. But thanks for the offer.
Okay, and what made you decide to move back to England after being in LA for so long?
It was more necessity than anything, because I had domestic. My father was ill, and he's just turned 80, and he's on his own now, so I just went back to keep an eye on him, really. But I'm probably going to be moving back here eventually. I hope.
How do you feel about being a part of the music scene in California compared to your early experiences in London?
Well, that's a tough question, because they're both different eras, really. Well, the music scene in London, I mean, do you mean like in the 60s, or? Who asked that question?
Mike Hurst. Where's Mike?
Where is he? Oh, he's not. Oh, great, I'm not.
Next? No, seriously, how different are the music scenes between London and Los Angeles?
What, now or then?
Well, let's take now.
Well, now it's... the music scene in London is very quiet at the moment. There's really not much of a... how can I say it, a fraternity amongst musicians or anything like that. Whereas here, this is more of a music town. There's more musicians. There's better musicians, I think. There's more places to play. There's places where you can go and jam. In London, it's very closed off. And, there's more optimism here, which I like.
I agree with that. Okay. What do you think of the current generation of new guitarists that's signed by XXOO?
Well, who are we thinking of? That's a rather sweeping question. There's good and there's bad, you know.
Well, who are some guitarists out there right now that you think...
What, new guitar players?
The grunge, you've got the new...
Well, I can't say that I really... I mean, I haven't heard any new young guitar players that I've really liked for quite a long time. I mean, most of the people I like are... they're probably round about my age, really. I haven't heard... I mean, I'm sure there are some great musicians out there, younger players, but I don't hear them. I mean, maybe they're hiding away or something, but I don't know.
Okay, and somebody wants to know what's your favorite piece of work by yourself, and do you have a favorite piece of work by somebody else?
I never know. With my own stuff, it's hard to tell, because to be honest, I don't really listen to it. When it's finished, it's a piece of work that you finish, and then I don't listen to it anymore. I mean, unless somebody is playing it or something. I don't really have any... I have favourites, but I mean, it's not... listening to my own music is not something I put on for enjoyment. It's because you tend to get too critical about it, and you hear things that you think, well, I could have done that better or something. As for a general favourite piece of music, I mean, there's hundreds.
What's your favourite Yes song?
Oh, God. I think Owner of a Lonely Heart, actually. Oh, that went down well, yes. Oh, all right. I'm on good ground here.
What was your favourite Yes song to play?
When I played with them, I think probably Astral Traveller was.
Speaking of Yes, have you considered collaborating with any past or present members?
Well, most of them are too old. Not that I'm also too old. No, it never seems to happen, actually. Tony Kaye and I were going to do something together, and we did that, and we went out and got drunk. But no, it's never really come up, and I don't really know why. I mean, maybe it will in the future, but you know, I mean, I only really think about the guys from Yes when I run into them, really. But it's possible, you know, who knows?
Especially with Yes, everything seems to be possible.
Yeah.
John wants to know if you'll autograph their Instinct CDs.
Yeah, sure.
John? Who's John?
And he's left as well.
John has left the building. We'll bring him up after we're done. Would you like to sign some autographs afterward?
Afterwards, it'd be better.
Right.
Yeah.
And Mark also wants his picture taken with you. I guess we'll do that later on, or would you like to do
It'll
that?
cost him, yeah.
Where's Mark again? You, come on up, let's do it on stage. I think that would be really nice. Nice for the photo album. Would you mind?
Sure. You got dressed up specially for the occasion. Look at this. All right. I like a man with coordinated clothes. It's wonderful.
Let's do it this way.
Here's the doozy. Who are your guitar influences?
Well, I listen to a lot of players. It's hard to say about influences. I mean, there's certainly people that I like better than others. I mean, I like Steve Howe's playing. No, actually, I know. A lot of people, really. I like Pat Metheny a lot. I like Alan Holdsworth is a wonderful player, which I think. I like Steve Vai, strangely enough. Oh well, good. John McLaughlin is always, always good. Oh, I'm working well here, but now let's name somebody really terrible, shall we? Actually, Trevor Rabin's a fine player. I mean, he is. I'm getting safer and safer here. I'll stop there. Yeah.
And Bruce Irwin wants to know what are some of your memories of recording Time in a Word, and what was it like performing Yes songs live versus in the studio?
It's a long time ago. Time in a Word was not an easy album to make. I don't particularly have many good memories of making that album because we were going through a lot of changes, musical changes, and we had management problems, and really that album was, it was a bit of a Spinal Tap scenario in a way. So I don't particularly have many good memories about making that album. There were a lot of personal disagreements in the band, and it was not a happy time, especially for me. But playing live, I mean, was always good. I have great memories about that. Any personal differences we had amongst the band, quickly dissolved, when we were on stage, and when it was a good night, it was a really good night. So I mean, that was always okay, usually anyway.
Okay, no name on this one again. Do you prefer working solo, collaborating, or with a group? Which would you rather play?
No, I don't really like working solo. I mean, for me, it was a case of necessity of doing it because I wanted to get some music out of my system, basically. No, it's always more fun playing with other musicians because you can bounce ideas off, and recording a solo album is really literally playing with yourself in the nicest possible way, of course. And it's a kind of a lonely thing you do behind closed doors. But no, it's always better to play with other people, I think. And a solo thing is a very arrogant thing to do, is to put out a solo album anyway, because it's you're presupposing that you're good at a lot of things, you know, such as playing keyboards and playing guitar and doing the drums and everything. And it's much more interesting if you can play with other musicians, and you'll then think of things that you would never think of, you know, just working on your own. So it's a lot better being in a band, I think. I miss that.
Okay, again, there's no name on this question. It's interesting that your guitar playing and sounds mimic violins and horns and other instruments. Where did you get the idea or ideas for this, and was it intentional?
I didn't know they did that, actually. No, it's just something, it's the way it comes out. I never really plan much. I mean, I'm not, as a player, I'm probably one of the least technical players around. I mean, I certainly don't know much about the musical side of playing at all. I mean, I have a technique for playing, but I don't. I try not to analyze things that I do playing-wise. What comes out comes out, but I really don't kind of think, well, that'll sound cute or that will sound good there or anything. It's just it is supposed to be instinctive, and I try and keep that in the way I play, and try and blank out all the analytical side of it.
With Instinct just being released stateside, you already have another CD on its heels over in Europe. What's going on with that? Self-contained?
Well, that's the one that's coming out in January. I wish it was coming out earlier. I'm looking forward to that. It's I think my playing on it is a lot more better, and it's a bit more concise and not so. I think when you do a solo album, you often want to get a lot out of your system, and you're trying to prove something and say, this is what I can do. Whereas now I'm doing the second album, or I should say it's really the third album. It's a little more restrained and a bit more, dare I say it, tasteful, I think.
Any chance of a solo tour to follow?
Hopefully, yeah. That's what I'm working on now.
Very good. And I can't read this name, but they'd like to know if there's a chance you would like to perform some early Yes material on stage.
I don't remember any, actually. I'll play something, but I mean, to be honest, I don't really listen to Yes much. I mean, it's I only heard the new album a couple of days ago, so it's you know, it's very much a part of my past. So I don't really know any Yes tunes. I probably know I know bits and pieces. I don't think I could play a whole thing. I don't think Chris Squire could sit down and play a whole, you know, thing either. I mean, not on one guitar. It's very hard to do. You know.
Would you be willing to play some Instinct or maybe some of your new stuff? Do some riffs for us?
I can noodle around on guitar. I'll bluff it. You know, I can do that.
Would you like to hear him play?
Talk amongst yourselves.
Any reverb?
Get some effect on, Scott?
Bear with me for a minute. Hello? 1, 2, 1, 2. Working? No. I don't have any easy plans, so I'll literally noodle around, and if you all leave, I will completely understand that, so don't worry.
Are you going to play some more?
Not yet.
Okay, maybe when Patrick comes by.
Yeah.
Who knows, a little jam, I don't know.
Okay.
Thanks for coming out. And you're going to sign some stuff over here if anybody would like some signatures. Let's form a line right over there. Thank you very much. Peter Banks.
Thank you.
I look forward to your new one there.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm really pleased.
Yeah. Excellent. Good luck.
Always look forward to working with you, Peter. One more thing, I forgot this yesterday. You signed the other thing for me yesterday. Brain lapse.
Hi Peter, don't have anything for you to sign, just want to say hello. Nice to come and see you at the Central on Tuesday night.
This is a new piece which I don't know too well, and also I've never played this guitar in my life, so we'll get all the excuses over first. And it goes something like this. Bear with me for a second. you.